Scene opens with a dramatic, royal-themed, yet slightly ominous musical score. Amara remained frozen on her knees, the frantic beat of her own heart the only sound she could hear in the vast, echoing silence of the king's chamber. It thudded against her ribs, a wild drum signaling her fear. Above her, King Adagon watched, his gaze a heavy and settling weight upon her. There was an undeniable power in his eyes, the kind that commanded armies and ruled nations. But beneath that power, a shadow lurked, something fractured, something broken. It was a secret he kept locked away from the world, a darkness that now seemed to leak into the very air she breathed. His voice, when it came, was a low, dangerous murmur that slid smoothly through the tension. "Amara, stand up." She rose, her movements slow and deliberate, each motion feeling exaggerated and clumsy under his intense scrutiny. She was painfully aware of how small, how utterly vulnerable she must look in his grand chambers. He didn't move from his spot, but his eyes roamed her face, not with lust, but with a strange, searching quality, as if he were trying to decipher a long-lost map. "Tell me," he began, his voice still low, "are you afraid of me?" She had to swallow the lump that had formed in her throat before she could answer. Her voice was a mere whisper. "Yes, Your Majesty." A slow, chilling smile touched his lips. "Good," he said, the word hanging in the air. "Fear keeps people alive in this palace." And then he moved. He closed the distance between them in a few silent, predatory strides. He was too close. His scent, a rich blend of sandalwood, leather, and something uniquely masculine and royal, washed over her senses. Her body tensed, anticipating a touch, a demand, but instead, just as suddenly as he had approached, he stepped back, surprising her completely. He let out a quiet sigh, his shoulders relaxing slightly. "I don't force what does not want to be touched," he said, his tone shifting, becoming almost weary. "You are not a slave here, Amara. You are here because I chose you." Her brow furrowed in confusion. "Chose me? For what?" The question screamed in her mind, but she dared not voice it. He gestured to the opulent royal couch and sat down, his long fingers drumming a slow, rhythmic pattern on the velvet upholstery. The sound was hypnotic and settling. "Do you know why I sent for you that first night?" he asked, his eyes never leaving her. Amara remained silent, her mind racing. What could she possibly say? He seemed to understand her silence, and a slight, almost genuine smile appeared on his face. "Because you are fearless. Even in your fear, you don't try to hide your emotions, you fight them. Right there on your face for the world to see. I like that." He stood up again, his energy shifting once more. This time, he began to circle her, his movements fluid and graceful, like a panther studying its prey before the pounce. The air crackled with a new kind of tension. "But before anything happens between us," he stopped directly in front of her, his voice dropping to a serious, deliberate tone. "There must be an agreement." Her heart skipped a beat, the rhythm faltering. "Agreement?" she echoed, her voice barely audible. "Yes," he nodded, his gaze unwavering. "Your obedience for my protection. You give me your complete loyalty, and in return, I give you my power. In this palace, anyone who is under my protection becomes untouchable." Untouchable. The word struck her with the force of a physical blow. It echoed in her mind, a promise of safety in a world built on secrets, danger, and hidden enemies lurking in every shadow. To be untouchable, it was everything she could ever dream of. But she knew, instinctively, that such a gift would come at a staggering cost. She found a sliver of courage and asked the question that burned on her tongue. "And if I refuse?" she asked quietly. The king didn't even blink. His expression remained unreadable, his voice flat and cold. "Then you will remain what you are now, just another maid, weak and seen, vulnerable to the whims of anyone more powerful than you." He let the threat hang in the air for a long moment, allowing the weight of her current reality to settle upon her. Then, he leaned in, and the coldness in his voice melted away, replaced by a velvety whisper that was almost hypnotic. "But if you accept, you will never have to kneel again. Not to me. Not to anyone." Heavy, profound silence descended upon the chamber. The world seemed to shrink until it was just the two of them, locked in this silent battle of wills. Amara looked deep into his eyes, and for the first time, she saw past the crown, past the intimidating power. She saw a man consumed by his own desires, a man wielding immense power. Yet trapped in a profound, aching loneliness, she took a slow, steadying breath. Her decision forming. This was no longer just about survival. This was a choice. "Path. What do you want from me?" she asked, her voice soft but firm, a stark contrast to the fear she had felt just moments before. King Adagon leaned so close that his lips brushed against her ear. His voice was a deep, irresistible rumble that vibrated through her entire being. A secret promise whispered just for her. Everything. Amara's heart hammered against her chest, a wild storm breaking loose within her. This was it. This was no longer about fear or servitude. This was a dangerous, intoxicating game of power and desire. And whether she was ready or not, she had just made her first move. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you are as captivated by Amara's story as I am and you are desperate to know what happens next, please let me know in the comments below. Your support means the world. So don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss what's coming next. See you in the next one.